Hey guys, this is Mike Mahaffey, the old bastard BJJ guy, here for BJJ Mental Models. Back in my day, we had to walk uphill in the snow both ways to get to the academy just to learn some crappy technique from a random purple belt. You kids have it so easy because now you can just subscribe to BJJ Mental Models Premium and get tons of great audio courses to learn new techniques, enhance your mindset, and entertain yourself. You can even get personalized rolling reviews from some of your favorite BJJ Mental Models coaches, including me. It's like having your own seminar, you spoiled little whippersnappers. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe to BJJ Mental Models Premium right now, get off my lawn, and go train.
Hey, welcome to BJJ Mental Models. I'm Steve Kwan. BJJ Mental Models is your guide to a conceptual and intelligent jiu-jitsu approach. In this mini episode, I'm going to talk about the concept of alignment over position. Now, in the last episode, we talked about position over submission. This is a concept that will be taught by pretty much every instructor everywhere. We talked about what it is, why position is often better than submission, and what the exceptions are. So I would recommend going back and listening to that one first before continuing here. I'll put a link in the show notes in case you missed that last episode. But today I want to talk about Rob Biernacki's concept of alignment over position. Rob also sometimes describes this as alignment over everything, and we'll talk a little bit about what this means in a second. But first, if you're not familiar with this, Rob Biernacki is a coach from Island Top Team. He has been on BJJ Mental Models many times, both in our public podcast feed. He's also done courses with us on BJJ Mental Models Premium. And what he's best known for is his alignment framework. It's just a simplified way of thinking about the mechanics of jiu-jitsu. We did a whole series of mini episodes on these, and I will put a link to all of those in the show notes for you. But just to quickly kind of recap, what Rob says is that in jiu-jitsu, you always want to maintain your alignment while trying to take away your opponents. And Rob defines alignment as a combination of base, posture, and structure. I'll save you the full definition here because, again, link in the show notes if you want to know exactly what those mean and how they apply. But here is why this matters. It is possible in jiu-jitsu to technically have a good position on paper, but to still be ineffective from that position. And you have probably felt this. If you are a white or blue belt, or you remember being a white or blue belt, and you've sparred with a much more experienced grappler like a brown or a black belt, you've probably had this situation where you technically had a good position on them. Maybe you were mounted on them, or you had side control on them, or you were on their back. Technically on paper, it looked like you had a dominant position. If someone took a photo of that, they would say, yeah, this guy's got a good position. But you probably at the time did not feel like it was a good position. I certainly have had this where when I spar with very good black belts, sometimes I get to side control. And even though I have side control on them, it doesn't feel like I've got a lot of control. It feels like it's just a matter of time before they get out, and I don't really have any good options to hold them where they are. It's a very frustrating feeling because I know that on paper I've got a good position. That's an example of alignment over position. If that happens, where you are taking a good position on someone, but it just doesn't feel like you're the one in control, that probably means that you don't have full alignment, or you have not properly attacked their alignment. So again, I will take side control as an example because this is such a common place where this happens. If I take side control on a white belt, I am very confident that I can make their life miserable, right? I know how to hold them there, and I know that they probably lack the ability to protect their own alignment and keep themselves safe. On the other hand, let's say that I'm taking side control on a black belt. They will protect their alignment. First of all, they're going to defend their base, which means they're not going to allow me to take away their ability to absorb or generate force. Where this often happens from side control is the person on bottom, they're probably going to plant their feet on the ground, use those for base so they can move around and never let me settle my weight on top. They're going to protect their posture, which in this case likely means their neck. They're not going to let me get a crossface on them. They're going to try to fight off any strong collar grips. And they're also going to protect their structure, which means they don't let me grab or control their arms or their legs. And this can be a very frustrating thing to play. If I have side control on top of you, and I'm able to get a crossface on you, I've broken your posture, and that's going to make it really hard for you to fight back. If I'm able to get underneath your arms or grab your arm by the elbow, now I'm attacking your structure. That's going to make it even harder. But against a good player, they're going to make it very difficult for you to do these things. So this can create this awkward situation where I have side control on you. Maybe I've got chest to chest, but I can't prevent you from moving. I can't control your head. I can't control your arms or your legs. And it just feels like at any moment now, you could escape. That's because you, as the person on bottom, have alignment, and I haven't successfully broken that down. So this all matters because grapplers, especially at the beginning level, tend to look at jiu-jitsu as a game of what are all of the positions and how do I get up there? And so they will often try to get to something that looks like a side control or a knee on belly or a mount or a back control, but they're not actually doing the things that make that position effective. So that means attacking the base, attacking the posture, attacking the structure. If I just grab onto you and try to pin you, but I'm not doing those things, it's very unlikely that I'm going to be able to hold you in that position. So if I am in one of these situations where it looks like I'm in a good position on you, I don't want to get too myopic about that. I need to understand, yeah, it might look good, but does it feel right? And if I feel like the person on bottom is going to escape because I haven't broken their alignment, I need to break this myopic tendency we often get to be so focused on holding the position that I could actually lose it. So a common mistake people will make is when I'm holding side control on you, I might hold on for dear life, even if you're starting to escape. Or if I'm mounted on you and you're already halfway out, I might try to cling to that position. That often doesn't work, and holding onto a position too late is a good way to actually lose the position and wind up in a worse situation. So the lesson here to take away is, as Rob says, focus less on what position you visually have. It doesn't really matter so much if you're on side control or knee on belly or mount. Focus less on that and focus more on, am I able to break this person's base posture and structure? If I can do those things, it doesn't really matter what position I'm actually in, because once I break your base posture and structure, I can get to whatever position I want to. Now, of course, there is one detail we have to point out here, which is that under IBJJF rules, you are scored based on your ability to hold a position. So I'm not saying positions don't matter. If you hold someone in mount for 3 seconds, you're going to get the points for that, and you need to understand that. However, even with that considered, it is very hard to hold someone in a position unless you have broken their alignment. If I take mount on you, but I don't really have your alignment broken, you're probably going to get out, and I'm probably not going to get points because I probably won't be able to hold you there for 3 seconds. So even in that case, I think alignment over position is an important thing to think about. So I hope that helps. I hope combined with the previous discussion on position over submission, this gives you a bit more nuance in terms of thinking about how you control someone in jiu-jitsu, and I hope it helps you understand that there's more to this game than just having a good position. If you want to learn more, you can get all of our podcast episodes, our newsletter, our database of concepts at BJJMentalModels.com. I'll put a link in the show notes. That's also where you can go to sign up for BJJ Mental Models Premium, which I definitely recommend you check out if you haven't already. Thanks a lot for listening, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.